better place to recharge and ready ourselves for our next mission.
Sorry for the wait, everyone. Got a little held up on Vectera.
Barrett, we were worried sick.
Well, some of us were.
I see what you did there, Walter. And I know you've been secretly crying into your piles of money just waiting for my return.
Actually, Walter has been complaining about you more than usual, which is always a sign when he's worried.
Don't start, Country.
Wait, is that? And to think the first artifact was taking up dust on the library shelf. Now look at them all. You feel it a bit, can't you? Ever since I found the second one, had the visions. Being around them is just comforting. So hey, I'm still not 100%, plus I feel guilty dragging you into all of this. Why don't I stick around? Help you get adjusted to the weird corners of the universe. Marvelous.
Hi. Hello
Ready to
there.
tackle whatever the Starfield throws at us.
Oh, that's my favorite question. I've thought a lot about this. It's a very important choice, after all. My favorite book is Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It's about some explorers who go down a volcano and find a secret underground world below Earth's surface. It's a great story, even with the scientific inaccuracies. Back when it was written, people didn't know the center of the Earth is a huge ball of molten metal. You spend a lot of time in space? We sure do. You want my honest opinion? I think you're doing great, but there's always room for improvement. I mean, your ship doesn't have a library. Where's a girl supposed to store her books? What about me? How am I doing as a co-pilot? Thanks! Someday, I'll be a captain like you, and then you can be my co-pilot. How about them apples?
So, where to next?
Pleasant to see you.
Stay alert. Weapons at the door.
Remain
you're human. It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago. I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race, above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first. Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Just
So, he gathered
Stay out
the
of
best
trouble.
and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here before us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world. Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try. Thank you, and good luck.
Trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Brackenridge. That sounds so familiar. Something from history slates that I've read. Oh, I feel I should know who this person is, but somehow it's escaped my memory.
Equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers. Got strict rules around here. They're strict. Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what it can do.
To listen. Hope we can talk later.
Hey, do you want to play?
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
I saw a new one.
I've lived my entire life in the Constant. I'm not sure how else to live.
Keeping track of all our supplies is more difficult than you might think. Hi there. Oh! Nice to meet you. And that's true. As you can imagine, everyone kind of just knows each other around here. Meeting new people isn't really a thing for us. Yeah, I know. It's funny, though. All our lives, nothing could prepare us for this. We were born into a universe where we legitimately thought we were the only people in existence. Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I just didn't expect our visitor from the outside to stop by and chat with me. I figured, if anything, you'd be with the captain. I'm Daisuke, the ship's provisions manager. I'm not sure what I can offer you, but if I can help, I will. And if not, I'm happy just to talk. We manage. I know back on Earth, there used to be stores all over the place. Some that even specialize in specific types of goods, if you can imagine. But here, this is it. We have very limited supplies. Most of our stuff is recycled, even the food, in a roundabout way, if you know what I mean. It works out for the most part, because it has to. You'll sense a running theme with that around here. Not really. Things don't work that way here. It's not a shop like you hear about in the books and movies, or, where you're probably from. Almost everything is communal or shared in some way, but sometimes people want a little something extra or special for themselves. So when that happens, they come to me. Mostly, I just keep track of the ship's inventory and help ration the supplies so we don't run out. See you around.
Wow, I've heard about you, but here you are.
These are exciting times, aren't they? Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
If the other colonists knew how many times the constant almost came apart at the seams. Whew. Thankfully, I never let it. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend. Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here. Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on, and the ship flying. Ah, great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way. Yes? Yes! So many! Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time. Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right. I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there. Haha! I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves. See you!
Hey.
There's so much more to learn about now.
Hey there.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do. We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Just stay out of trouble. We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
We've detached. Let's get out of here. And we're locked in.
Landing initiated. Watch your flaring.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
We try to stay out of the guest way, but we are always here if needed. Enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Something I can help you with? Ah, yes. Let's get right to it then. As you can imagine, we've got a predicament on our hands. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. I see. Well, if you're speaking on their behalf, I'll refer you right along to the chairman of the Paradiso Group's board, Oliver Campbell. All formal decisions will go through him, not me. I'll let him know you're on your way.
You'd think we'd be a prime target for pirates, but they know to stay away for the most part. We've got some of the best private security in the settled systems.
I hope your stay here is going well. I don't think any place could be more perfect.
Not to be a downer, but this place is almost too perfect, right?
You're perfect the way you are. But if you ever want a change, I'm here for you. Why, hello, darling. Welcome to Enhance Paradiso. You too can use our services to help you feel as good about your appearance as I do mine. We can make you thinner, larger, change your hair, your face, or even your sex. Anything you want. Or perhaps I can interest you in the Paradiso Getaway Bundle promotion. This is a one-time offer for new Paradiso customers. Once you decline, it's gone. We simply book 2 sessions for you for a greatly reduced price. Why, you might ask? Many Paradiso guests come to get away from their normal lives, and often they like to believe what happens here stays here. So, they will change their appearance not only when they get here to engage in some fun, but also when they leave to go back to their normal lives. Oh no, I know that some other Enhanced hosts might do that as a way to upsell our services, but not me. No. Here I only want you to be comfortable with who you are. You should not feel pressured by anyone else to look one way or another. Being happy with your body comes from pleasing yourself, not by pleasing others. Certainly. Service at our regular price will always be available to you if you change your mind. What can I do for you now? That's very kind of you to say. I have put many credits into my appearance, and I am proud of how I look. There is no shame in paying to look good. I regularly use enhanced services. A little tweak here or there every so often keeps things interesting. And the fact that it is hard to notice proves the quality of our work. Oh, you're too pure for this world. Yes, especially when on vacation. Oh, don't look so surprised, darling. Have you ever seen someone come back from a break looking more refreshed and vibrant than ever? It's not uncommon for people to get little touch-ups while away. Better that than risk the embarrassment of bumping into friends at their local Enhance. Yes, goodbye, darling.
I shouldn't be telling you this, but we don't follow the 6 property either, Jess.
It's beautiful out there, isn't it? Hello, welcome to Hotel Paradiso. You may continue inside to the main desk if you need to check in for your stay, or feel free to browse the shops along the promenade. Let me know if I could answer any questions you may have or help you in any other way. Unfortunately, the beach is reserved for hotel guests only, and that goes for the entire planet's beaches. The Paradiso Group owns all land on Parima 2, so you must either be a resort guest or have prior authorization for any public or private beach use. But, and you didn't hear this from me, security rarely has the bandwidth to patrol outside the main resort. Ah, this is your first time here. That's exactly what it is. Paradiso prides itself on being the fanciest, most relaxing resort getaway in the galaxy. People from all over come here to bask in the sun, enjoy the all-natural beaches, explore, enjoy the local wildlife, and generally get pampered. For that, you'll want to head inside, go to the main desk, and speak with Dirk. He'll be more than happy to guide you through the check-in process. If you have business with Oliver, you'll first need to speak with Kiwi, the board's executive assistant. You'll find them if you take the elevator up to the top floor and go down the hallway. Enjoy your stay at Paradiso.
I was worried about my beach body until I spoke with that lady at Enhance here.
Hope you're having a pleasant day.
Oh, this looks like a lovely place for a stay. Might also be the perfect time to stop for some food or a tranquility. Where should we begin?
Please, let the concierge know if you need anything.
Hey there.
Need something? Welcome to Paradiso Gift Shop and Convenience. Feel free to look around, but don't break anything or you've got to buy it. And before you ask, there aren't any discounts, so don't even try to haggle with me. Why would I? I have to sell overpriced crap to rude, obnoxious tourists all day. My uncle works for the Paradiso board. When he said he could get me a job here, I expected an executive level job, not this. But it's not all bad. I don't have to worry about getting fired, and I live in Paradiso for free. Now, can I get you something, or are you going to keep asking questions about my life? No. Ugh. You people always think that just because we're some fringe planet and not part of the free stars or whatever, that we're happy to haggle for everything. I wouldn't even care, honestly. But I take it out of my pay if any money's missing, so no discount. Okay, take a look. There you go.
During the day, I'm all business. But when work's done, I like to enjoy the resort like everyone else. If the Paradiso board is busy in a meeting, you can always count on me to relay your message. Let me know if I'm able to help with anything.
Hope you're staying safe out there.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? I really don't, and I can't have you barging in on the executives while they're working. So if you need something, you can talk to me. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in, so it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too. People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business. What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Your safety is our #1 priority.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Tom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble.
That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfront in a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs, that sort of thing.
We'll make some time for you, but keep it quick, yeah? Not quite. We just don't answer to the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. Makes things easier. We don't pay any taxes, we don't need to follow their laws. All the benefits, none of the drawbacks. And no one minds, because half the politicians and other big shots love vacationing here. Works for everyone. We, the Paradiso Group, bought the rights to this planet years ago with the intent of turning it into the biggest and best resort in the universe. To that end, I'd say we've succeeded. As such, no other leisure enterprises may operate on the planet without renting land from us. But as you can see, none can afford such a deal. No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off-world. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine. I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners round the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene. Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about? I'd say you're full of it and might have been watching too many movies. Now, instead of wasting my time, want to tell me what it really is? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grab drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. Absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. Oh, I need to say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will. We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it, as I've mentioned. It could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain?
They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Freestar Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter as official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
I know this was a difficult decision, but if it's any consolation, I think you've made the right choice. Compared to the destruction of their vessel and relegating them to a life of servitude, I'd say this is the best chance they've got.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
Sounds good. I'll look into what that will cost us, and we can circle back around to this.
What's not to love about this planet?
While we're here, we should swing by Hope Tech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Keep an eye on your valuables. Keep an eye on them.
Ron Hope certainly embodies the saying, "They're spared no expense."
I'm not used to people wanting to talk to me. Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor, and it's yours. It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are. True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time. I'm trying to be reasonable here. Tell you what, sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the pod for free, I won't charge you for the work. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Tell you how many times I've had to make do with inelegant solutions to complex technical problems. What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Oh, don't worry about that. Just a little engineering humor. We've kept this ship going with minimal incidents this long. I'm not about to let anything happen to it now. But, to be clear, what we're doing is very dangerous, and we should be prepared for anything. Yes, of course I need your help. My team needs to stay on top of their daily maintenance, and I need to make my own preparations for this gravity drive you brought us. Your help is going to be vital to this procedure. And have no worries, it'll be easy. I'll guide you through the process. Great. There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
Wonder what else is out there.
Wonder what it's like out there beyond our little...
Community.
And to think, all this time, we're alone. People always appreciate a good engine, whether they know it or not. Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine. Can you go inform the captain while they're finishing the installation? Thanks. So we'll finally be able to go wherever. So long!
Just because our opinions always...
haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
No matter the outcome, we didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Porima 2 here. Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again. We've roamed the stars for almost 200 years. What's a little longer? Goodness, I'm not sure yet. We'll need to study our new star map. Then, well, I suppose we'll venture forth and try to find the perfect new home for us. It may take some time, but I'm confident we'll find something. And when we do, we'll find a shuttle to take us planetside. Thanks again for your help. That planet was not right for us anyway. No doubt the next one will be. Understandably, some are disappointed that we gave up our home, but I think I've managed to convince them that this will be best in the long term. I have no doubt that even if it takes more time, we will manage to find something even better. And it's important to remember we're still way ahead of our original schedule. Everything will be fine. That's a good question, but I firmly believe that establishing our own home is what our ancestors would want for us. I think that we will assimilate to some degree, particularly when it comes to trade and exchange of ideas. However, we've fared by ourselves for so long, it would be unreasonable for our people to give up our own sovereignty in favor of a completely different society's rules and expectations. It may seem like it's about me maintaining control, but it's more about avoiding massive culture shock. We'll get there, but we'll need to ease into it so future generations can reap the benefits. Safe travels to you.
As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. She said to meet us at the park overlooking the ocean. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want. I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on, Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
Now that we know there are other people out there,
You're lucky we're under orders now, too.
we were so close to finding our new home. Hopefully it won't be too much longer now.
Hey, maybe you can help out. Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that. Wow. Hi.
It definitely takes a special type of person to live their entire life, birth to death, aboard a single ship traveling through space.
Oh, hi! Hello! You're the alien. Sorry, old habit. Let me start over. You're the person who helped us with our little dilemma, aren't you? It's fine! I'm just a bundle of nerves still. Things haven't changed too much since we decided to look for a new planet to call home. People still come to me with their problems and concerns. Abe, when are we gonna get there? Abe, can we find a planet with animals? Abe, I'm sick of this ship and want to be anywhere but here, and so on and so forth. It's fine, it's my job, but it's stressful, and I'm already a pretty anxious guy to begin with. Just ask my husband. Easier said than done. Sorry, there's a lot going on with all the new changes, and I haven't fully come to terms with what it all means. But look, I'll still try to help you if you need something. You can be sure of that.
And we can look forward to the remainder of our lives together.
I'm happy to schmooze with you anytime. Oh, you heard? I was just kvetching to myself. Mostly I just need to find someone with a ship, but hey, you're someone with a ship, aren't you? I'll save you the spiel, but ever since we found out that people exist out there, the crew's been asking me if we could track down possible relatives. I made the mistake of looking some up, and now they want to connect with them. Now, I'm not gonna ask you to schlep anyone back and forth, but could you deliver these messages for us to connect our crew with their relatives? Oh, you're such a mensch! Thank you! Let me get you the letter and the information you'll need to track down the relative. I know they're really gonna appreciate what we're doing.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outsiders.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see it.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down.
Now that we know there are other people out there,
Undocking complete, Captain.
Fleet. Welcome to Titan. You're cleared to land at New Homes.
Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit. You've been busy, I hear, clearing out bad guys. Here, you deserve this.
Off-worlders always ask how those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but...
People here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it. Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. You'll freeze solid without the proper protection.
Boy, am I glad they have a chunks here.
I still can't believe people actually live like this.
This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it that way.
Heads up if you're planning on going to Chunks. Luther's been bothering anyone with a ship for help.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
Hello. Welcome to New Homestead.
The elders say that preserving our tradition is so important, but I keep hearing such wonderful things about other worlds. Ah, someone new. Are you a tourist, or have you just moved to New Homestead? Well, there's lots to learn. You can always feel free to try one of the historical tours, or ask the locals about life here. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like? Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question? Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard? I figured the stories weren't all true. How else would you expect people to live together if you can't trust in laws to keep everyone safe? Even in a small community like ours, we have to maintain law and order. Though, I understand it gets difficult to always protect that out in the vastness of space. I imagine it's the same in the Freestar Collective. Is it okay if I change the subject? Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water? I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else? Oh, wonderful. Is space travel as exciting as it seems? I've heard stories about pirates and spaceship malfunctions and all sorts of terrible things. I've always wanted to try going into space, but I'm also worried about all those dangers. Maybe people here are right. The dangers here are few, and we know how to take care of them. Space is too unknown. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
You get used to the methane processing smell. After a while.
If you'll pardon me, I'm not in the mood to talk. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself? Listen here. Mara's free to make her own decisions. I'm not here to control her if that's what you're insinuating. But that doesn't mean I take kindly to other people manipulating her and telling her the other worlds are full of sunshine and rainbows. We live a simple, traditional life here, and it's important to the community that we maintain that. Do you understand? Traditions like the way we tend this farm, strong family ties, early colonial life. We do it all with the bare minimum technologies to survive. Everything else is hard work done by humans. It's good for humanity's soul. People rely on technology too much. We need to remember how to perform the basics to survive in case we ever find ourselves without said technology. We need to remember where we came from, Earth, this system, lest we forget and repeat the same mistakes as before. We're one of the last colonies charged with that preservation. That's why it's important. We're going to have to agree to disagree then. I only ask that you respect our wishes.
Someone's got to talk to Joyce about these brownouts.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
I want to run around.
You off-worlders have it made. Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates. Besides, I'm not really good at talking to tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am. I feel like it sometimes. I don't have many friends, and I'm struggling to stay in my undergrad program. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and make a name for myself. Anyway, if we're going to talk, maybe we should talk about something else. Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates. I keep having to take odd jobs just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever. What? Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but... Wow. Thank you.
I'm pleased that you realize the importance of a decent education. Oh, damn. I was starting to enjoy the conversation.
All these tourists are able to come and... Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anya clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing. The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people, like me. They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with, but you can tell that people look down on us, especially some of the tourists. It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school. Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here. It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options. See you around, maybe.
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Yes? What? I'm a little busy. Make it quick. Oh my. Really? But wait, how do I know this is legitimate? Fame and fortune, you say? Well, I thought of it like that. I could have helped tell their story. Maybe I owe it to them. It's the least I could do. Okay, I'll take a look. I have to admit, part of me is pretty excited about this. Incredible, I had no idea. Thank you very much for putting them in touch with me. I don't know why I doubted you. Here's hoping it does. Thanks again for letting me know. Fingers crossed.